Okay, good morning everyone. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're doing analysis on Ethereum US dollar. And in this series of videos, we're doing top to bottom analysis and looking for opportunities to take trades. And we'll start this video off by doing what we usually do. We'll identify our zones. So what are zones? Zones are support or resistance levels on higher time frames. Zones are also support levels on resistance and resistance levels on support. So if zones are support and resistance levels on higher time frames, then what are support levels and what are resistance levels? Support levels are regions in price where price finds support. That's a little bit vague, so let me describe it better. A support level is a region in price where the price doesn't go below or finds it difficult to go below. Similarly, resistance is a point that price finds difficult to go above, which can be characterized like this. You can see that price has tried 3 times to go past this level and wasn't able to do it. So we can call this a resistance level. But because we're on a higher time frame, on the weekly time frame, we'll call it a zone and not simply a resistance level. Similarly, here, this should have counted as a price violation because this resistance level was broken, but price came and retested it again. Let me delete that right again because there's some details I'm not. Okay, so we have this first bounce. Price came here and showed its respect before breaking through, and even when it broke through, it came back and tested it again. That makes this level a valid zone. So this, I believe this is our all-time high. Just as something to note, the all-time high is always a zone. The all-time high is always a zone. Alright, this is our weekly zone / all. Alright, the all-time high is always a zone. The absolute highest point that price has ever gotten to is always a zone. So now I believe there's one more, a little bit of it, what I call it tricky. We have a zone here. This is a weekly zone. So this zone looks like it has been broken through not once but at least 3 times. Why am I still marking it out as a valid zone? Look at this. Price bounced off of it twice before breaking through. Even when we broke through, price came down and showed it some respect here. Price still came back all the way to bounce off of this level before coming down. Now, just to put this in perspective, the bounce off of this zone, if we were to measure it to about the highest point that it got to, how high is that? That's 531 points. So that means if you're able to catch this individual move, so to say, this bounce off of the zone, you'll be able to catch 531 pips. Let me zoom in. Let's focus on this single green candlestick. Let's just say you were able to catch this one single green candlestick for a hypothetical. This one single green candlestick would have netted you 200 from open to close, would have netted you about 200 points. So that's if you're using I don't trade crypto anyway, so I don't know the specifics. But still 200 points, even by currency pair standards, is quite something. Okay, so now let's go down to the daily time frame and identify our zones. Before that, okay, here we still have the zone here. It's another weekly zone. So now let's go down to the daily time frame and see what we can find in respect to zones. So now let's identify our daily zones. So we have a zone here. Let's make it red. I like my zones being red. Like warning me of danger or potential danger. We have a zone here as well. I'm wondering where to place it. Here. We have a zone here. We have another zone here. Okay, this is the trend line of the zone. What else do we have? We have We have a zone here because of the matching closes. Yes, so you can see it because the close is matching. And then we have, that's all we have for zones. Kind of have a feeling that this point will come back to act as a relevant zone, but that's just my own intuition. So that's it for identifying our zones on the weekly and daily time frame. So the next thing we're going to do is to identify our trend lines, which we'll do in the next video.